Hello children, welcome back to Asha.Academy. Today, let me walk you through Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrian Rich. Gone are the days when women were cribbing and cringing for their rights and privileges. But today's women, they do enjoy their rights, equal rights. But this poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, it was written in those days when women were denied their rights and they were subjugated by the male dominated society, chauvinistic society, or patriarchal society. Here, Adrienne Rich raises her voice for the women who are the real victims of suppression. Now, listen to these roaring tigers. Aren't they majestic and magnificent, free-spirited and fearless ones? Now, let me enlighten you on the new words and its meanings. Prance, to move quickly with exaggerated steps. Topaz, of a yellowish brown color. Denizens, animals living in a particular place. Sleek, elegant, chivalric, polite and honorable. Fluttering, moving lightly and quickly. Mastered, controlled. Ordeals, difficult and unpleasant experiences. Chauvinism, excessive or prejudiced support for one's own cause, group or sex. Patriarchal, relating to or denoting a system of society or government controlled by men. Subjugated, bring under domination or control. Subservient, obedient or submissive. Let me read out the very first stanza. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So the very first stanza says that Aunt Jennifer, she stitches tigers on an embroidery panel. And these tigers, they move very quickly across the screen. And not only that one, here it is compared with bright topaz. Topaz, which is yellow brown in color, which is a precious stone. So here bright topaz denizens, it's a metaphor. And not only that one, denizens here, which means that an animal which lives in a particular place. Actually, these animals, tigers, they live in a natural environment. And then the third line, they do not fear the men beneath the tree. These animals, actually, they do not fear either be a poacher or be a hunter. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So they move in elegance. These animals move in elegance. So here the poet presents Aunt Jennifer's tigers as bright as the shining yellow topaz, and these dwellers of the green forest are proud, fearless and dignified. Aunt Jennifer creates them on the panel with her own hands, and you can see a sharp contrast between the animals and her qualities. The tigers that she stitches appear to be everything that she is not. The tiger has got the attributes of dignity, honor and confidence, whereas Aunt Jennifer, she doesn't have all these qualities at all. That's the sharp contrast between these two. Look at these tigers embroidered there on a panel. And the next slide says that precious stones, and these stones are compared with animals' color, that is tiger's color. You can see every second line rhymes with the previous line. So here rhyme scheme is AABB, and then the next poetic device is anaphora, use of same word in two consecutive lines. They do not and they hasten. And then metaphor, use of topaz to describe the yellow color of tigers. The next stanza, Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. This stanza says that Aunt Jennifer's fingers are fluttering, which means that quivering, shaking, trembling due to the fear of her husband. She finds even to pull the ivory needle to be very hard. She finds it really very difficult to pull even the ivory needle. That much she has become feeble and frail because of her husband's presence. The next one, the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band. The massive weight here, it suggests that it is a hyperbole because a wedding ring can't be that heavy. Whereas here the poet suggests that a massive weight, which means that it is hyperbole. And Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon, which means that here wedding band has been personified. Only human beings can sit on anything, that is on a chair. Yes, whereas here wedding band sits heavily, which means that wedding band has been, that ring has been personified. It has been given life. So here one has to understand that the second stanza symbolizes the heavy pressure of the ordeals of Aunt Jennifer's marriage on her. It symbolizes her husband's dominance over her. The words massive weight suggest that Aunt Jennifer was oppressed by the tyrannical presence of her husband. The third stanza. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. When Aunt is dead, see, the very first two stanzas referred Aunt to be Aunt Jennifer. Whereas here in the third stanza, Aunt alone has been given here. So which means that Aunt Jennifer, she has lost her identity. And not only that one, her terrified hands will lie here, which means that even in death, Aunt Jennifer will continue to be burdened by her marital responsibilities. Not only her marital responsibilities, by her earthly marriage. So terrified hands here, it is a transferred epithet, or even it is a synecdoche here. Still ringed with ordeals, she was mastered here, which means that controlled by, she was controlled by her husband here. And ringed, this word has got a double connotation, indicating not only the ring that sits heavily on Aunt's hand, but the difficulties in her life that will continue to surround her. That's the meaning. As you all do know that art will live on forever. Art is eternal. Art is immortal. The art that has been created by Aunt Jennifer will go on forever, will live on forever. Aunt Jennifer has got wonderful creativity, but her husband, with his careless attitude, stifles it. This stanza indicates that even after her death, the ring shall remain on her hand. That is, her husband's rule over her is not yet over. After her death, her desire of freedom and fearlessness shall remain alive in these tigers which she has embroidered. Many poetic devices have been used here in this poem: personification, synecdoche, transferred epithet, and irony, and even symbols here. Tiger is a symbol of strength and fearlessness. Ring, it's a symbol of bondage. Band, which is a symbol of oppression. Aunt Jennifer, she is the symbol of all women who are oppressed. Personification sits heavily upon transferred epithet and synecdoche, terrified hands, pun, ringed. It has got double connotation here. Irony, a weak and feeble woman stitching strong and fearless tigers. Brutal tigers depict chivalry and civilized man depict oppressor. Even when creator dies, her work lives eternally. Thus, the poem revolves around desires and the harsh realities of Aunt Jennifer's existence, using sharp contrast between the tigers that she soothes and her own self. The tigers that she stitches appear to be everything that she is not. And children, I do believe that you must have understood this poem very clearly. Thank you for listening to me patiently. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.